Hey guys, so today we are going to cook some homemade Zuppa Toscana. I really enjoy this recipe. It's a homemade version of the Olive Garden, what you get from Olive Garden, but I make it the way that I like it because Olive Garden's is a little bit different. So the items that we're going to be using today are kale, mild Italian sausage. Usually I use about 3 large potatoes, heavy whipping cream and onion powder, garlic powder, and regular garlic, and salt and pepper to taste. So I start off by browning 1 pound of mild Italian sausage, and when it's done I usually leave the grease from the sausage in there just because it adds flavor to your soup. And then when that is done, I think here I added 8 cups of water, just so whenever I add the potatoes later on, they are completely covered. While the water is coming to a boil, I usually start peeling my potatoes and cutting them into cubes. You can cut your potatoes any way that you prefer. For me, I like them in cubes just because that's the easiest way for me to eat them. But like Olive Garden, they do the like little slivers. I don't particularly like it that way. So you can just do it however you feel like you would like to. And as you can probably see here, I am adding the potatoes to the water as I go, just so that my workspace is clean and clear. And then I top it off with a little bit more water just to make sure that all of the potatoes are completely covered. Then next I start chopping up my onion. I usually add a full onion to my soup just because I've grown to really like onions in my soups, but you don't have to do the full onion. Here you see me sauteing the onion to make it translucent. I add a tablespoon of butter to this and just make sure that it's really nice and soft. And then when it's almost done, I go ahead and add a tablespoon of minced garlic. You can add a real garlic clove, but I find it's quicker just to use what's in the can or jar. Then when it is all nice and sauteed, you go ahead and add it to your pot of soup and give it a good stir so it's all nice and incorporated. Then next I add about a teaspoon of onion powder. It might be a little bit more than that, but I just usually add it to what I like to taste. And then also a teaspoon of garlic powder, as well as a teaspoon of salt, which I add a little bit more later on just because it didn't have enough, and then pepper. And then now I add a pint of heavy whipping cream. So here you see me preparing the kale. What I usually do is remove the spine from each of the stalks and just take the leaves off. And then when that is done, I usually rinse it. Today the kale was actually very gritty because there was, I don't know, sand or dirt on it, but it was a lot worse than the times that I have used kale in the past. So always remember to rinse your kale before adding it to your soup, or your soup is going to be really gritty. Adding the kale to your soup is the very last thing that you do, and you do it as the soup is boiling so it softens it. You do not want to add it too early or it will make the kale way too soggy, kind of like how spinach does when you add it to water. So I just stir that in really well, and then I usually cover it and let it sit for about 5 minutes. Well, that kind of softens a little bit because you don't want hard kale. It's done, and it looks so good. Okay, I'm gonna show you real quick. It's actually really hot, so hold on a second. So I hope that y'all liked this video. If you did, I would hope that you would hit that like button and comment down below the next thing that you would like me to cook. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching.